A Georgia man charged with murder for leaving his 22-month-old son to die in a hot car back in front of a judge today. That's Justin Ross Harris. And to the right of him, his attorneys. They're asking the court some pretty key things right now. They want to toss out some very important evidence in this case. And they have some other pretrial motions as well, including a motion to get us out, the media. They do not want us in that suburban Atlanta courtroom. No cameras, no reporters even. 22-month-old Cooper Harris was left inside his father's SUV on a hot day in June 2014. 7 hours that baby was in the back seat. The autopsy showed that the toddler died of hyperthermia, better known as overheating. The father said this was a tragic accident, and he has pleaded not guilty. CNN's Nick Valencia and CNN legal analyst Philip Holloway are outside the Cobb County Courthouse. So, Nick, just walk me through how this is going in court so far. These are pretty serious motions they're asking for.
These are a handful of extraordinary motions being presented by the defense. I was inside the courtroom with CNN legal analyst Philip Holloway. More from him in just a minute. But we essentially heard the defense lay out their claims as to why they believe the media and the public should not be allowed inside that courtroom. They said that the media has been obsessed with this case ever since it broke last year, and that is now presenting a clear and present danger to the fairness of this trial. They believe that they can't get an impartial jury because there's been, according to them, prejudice and biased reporting over the course of last year. And the 15 months since Justin Ross Harris was arrested, the public interest, they say, has not waned. Inside the courtroom, we saw Justin Ross Harris shackled, showing up wearing a prison jumpsuit. Cobb County Jail put on the back of that, and he was, for the most part, Ashley, pretty expressionless, pretty stoic. There were points, though, where he was looking up at a monitor. Photos of him and his baby 22-month-old Cooper Harris were shown. He seemed to be looking intently at that. And, of course, we have to remind our viewers, this case garnered a lot of national attention. Harris is accused of intentionally leaving his 22-month-old child in a hot car while he sexted a handful of underage girls. Prosecutors have painted him out to be a wannabe playboy who was wanting to lead a child-free life. His defense, though, saying that this is just simply a tragic accident and that Justin Ross Harris is not guilty. Ashley?
Okay, Nick, hold on for one moment. I want to turn my attention right now to Philip, if I can. Philip, I don't recall the defense attorneys in this case, and I'm trying to sort of remind myself of all the different things that happened in the flurry of activity when the story broke. But I don't recall that they had that same feeling about the media back then. What's changed?
I'm sorry, Ashley, I'm having one. Can you say that one more time, please?
Have they always felt this way about the media from the get-go? Did they always want the media and the public to stay out of this?
Well, what they've done is they've asked not only for the media, Ashley, but the general public at large. They don't want anybody other than parties in the case and deputy sheriffs and essential courtroom personnel to be in there. That is a very, very tall order and a big ask. Under federal constitutional law, the judge must let the public in unless there really there's no other option available to the judge. She has to find any alternative means to satisfy the interests of justice, if at all possible, before she's legally authorized to close the courtroom to the public.
So it's strange because I just don't feel that they thought the same. I thought that they were quite welcoming of the media. They thought that perhaps the media might even be helpful to their case. Maybe I'm getting my wires crossed, but it just seemed like an extraordinary motion out of thin air. Am I crazy?
Well, I think that the defense has basically taken bits and pieces of what they consider to be media attention that was negative, things that they don't like, and they've asked that that be presented to the court as evidence of basically prejudice against their client. And the media lawyers, on the other hand, stood up in court, Ashley, and what they said was they said you can't just cherry pick. There's been positive media coverage. They've alleged that the defense counsel have also used media to their own advantage in various ways. So the ruling is still under advisement. That particular motion is still being heard, and we would expect some ruling later this afternoon.
That's what I thought. I mean, I thought that they had used the media before, and now if it wasn't going their way, that they've switched course. But no matter what, I don't expect, I'm sure you don't expect, that the judge is going to say no public in this courtroom. That's sort of Saddam-styled trials. We don't do that in this country. Phil Holloway, keep us posted on what's happening in that courtroom. We'll look forward to some updates throughout the day and see which motions, if any, are passed. And then if change of venue happens, let us know. That's Nick Valencia and Phil Holloway doing the work for us outside of the courthouse.